The chemical test. Oh, the chemical test evidence, one of the first things I always ask somebody when they come into my office, what did you blow? 0.17. How much did you have to drink? 2 beers. Okay. This is attorney-client privilege, okay? I want to know what you really drank. Because I want, yeah, exactly. I want to know whether or not this breath machine is way off. It doesn't happen all the time, all right? It's not every single person that's accused of a DUI that has this faulty machine to blame. But there are cases out there. There are people out there with a breath-to-blood partition ratio that if they drink 1 beer, they will blow clearly over the legal limit. And by the same token, there are people out there who can drink way too much and blow into a breath machine and blow under the legal limit. The breath machine only works on averages. And so if you run these calculations by comparing what the client actually drank to what the expected breath result was, and there's a good program out there, it's called Backtracker. It's highly sophisticated, it's complex, but it will show you what the client's expected blood alcohol content would have been at a particular time based upon knowing what the person ate, drank, etc. Okay? And then you're looking for medical conditions. There are so many medical conditions out there that will actually affect the breath machine, and this is published in peer-reviewed journals. Things like gastroesophageal reflux disease, where you've got this acidic stomach and you're constantly, kind of spitting stuff up in the back of your throat. If there's alcohol in the stomach, it will affect the breath machine. Now, there's some studies out there by prosecutorial experts that say, no, it doesn't. Okay? But it goes both ways, and this is something that you need to ask your client. Do you have GERD? Are you diabetic? Diabetics will produce acetone. And supposedly, the data master will kick off a chemical interferent if it detects too much acetone on the person's breath. But hey, these things, they're subject to errors, and if it doesn't, your diabetic client with a combination of acetone plus alcohol could potentially blow over the legal limit even though the client's blood alcohol is actually under. You're looking for tongue rings, retainers, dentures, whether or not a person is on the Atkins diet. A faithful person who's doing the Atkins diet will be producing the same acetone that a diabetic produces because they've placed their body in a state of ketosis. And there's actually a fellow over in California, a dietitian, who monitors his clients to make sure that they're abiding by their Atkins diet by giving them a breath test. Can you imagine that? You have to go into your dietitian's place, blow here. I want to make sure that you're not eating those carbs, right? These people haven't drank any alcohol. Chemicals in the workplace, ether, acetone, toluene. Ether is an interesting one because we've been told for years that ether doesn't do anything, all right? But the new data master supposedly is doing something with ether. I thought it wasn't a big deal. Albuterol inhalers, COPD, gastric bypass. There was Oprah Winfrey a couple of years ago opined that somebody who's had gastric bypass might substitute their food addictions for an alcohol addiction. This was just an opinion that she kind of threw out there. Well, Oprah's a powerful person and people listened. So some scientists got together and thought, hey, maybe she's got something. Let's test people. They gave a group of people 4 ounces of red wine. And a 235-pound man blew a 0.15 after consuming those 4 ounces of red wine. And they said, oh my God, it's true. He substituted a food addiction for an alcohol addiction. You could inject 4 ounces of red wine into a 235-pound man, and you will never reach a 0.15. And one lone dissenting voice a few weeks after this study was published said, why didn't they blood test him?